morning, everybody. It is Thursday, November 23rd. I'm Jane Johnston with the Bar Hill Group for the Victoria Real Estate Show with...
Hey, everybody. It's Andrew Plank with Vibe Real Estate Group and LePage. Yeah, I was watching that intro as we were coming in there and the pictures of us. How many years have we been doing this now? 1.5, 2? 2 years. And man, we've changed a bit. There's more gray in my eyebrows for sure. You look fine. You haven't changed a bit.
Whatever.
Anyway, all good. Hey, so let's talk about what's been going on in the world this week.
Well, so like for me, in terms of real estate, it's been pretty busy. We've had 2 clients who are ready to move before Christmas, which kind of stimulated what this show is about today. So why even look right now, and what advantage can you have, both as a buyer and a seller, actually. And what else? So I was in Dallas doing that branding stuff, and so that was enlightening.
When did the photos get published?
They should be coming, I don't know, probably in a couple of weeks. It's interesting how other people perceive you. So I just was open to the process.
Oh, good for you. Yeah. That's when I did my the video that I've got on my website, and hired this great guy, Conrad, to do the work. It was really interesting to, they interview you, they ask a lot of questions, and then video it all, and then they put it all together, and it was really interesting to see how he captured. It's the first time I've actually ever felt seen and heard. It was really great.
Well, I see you and I hear you, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go ahead.
I was just going to say, you hire someone to help you with a logo, or you hire someone to help you with some marketing or processing work, and you try to tell them what your core values are, or what you're trying to what you're trying to have come across, and oftentimes you don't get back what you're looking for, and there's a lot of process to get there if you ever get there. And I was just so happy to have something that actually worked for once. I was really, really happy, and I'm hoping that you get the same. That at the end of the day, they really saw and heard you, and you have something that reflects who you are, because that's ultimately what we want for our clients. That when they are researching us to make a decision around working with us, that they get a clear understanding of that.
Well, I just had somebody choose to work with me because she said she's been reading my reviews in the newspaper for the past 3 years.
Have there been reviews in the newspaper?
Well, I do testimonials.
You post testimonials into the newspaper. Okay.
Yeah. So no, I have not been reviewed by an independent person. These are word of from the clients that we work with.
Yeah.
In their own words, what it's like to work with me. So
I have something called a Wordle, that word cloud. Wordle nowadays means the game, but there's a word cloud where they take the word frequency of a sentence or paragraph or article. And so I took all of my past testimonials, threw them into a word counter, and then had it pop out. And the larger words are the ones that are most common. So it popped out this word cloud with all the different feedback words. It's a great piece. I really like it.
So what was your biggest word?
I think there was a lot of honest, reliable. I don't know. Let me find it. I'll put it up here in a sec, folks. Just why not? Eh?
Why not? I think mine were I haven't done that, but usually I get professional, fun, intelligent, beautiful. No, I don't get that one. Okay, let's start off with today's show. So here we are, November 23rd, top 5 reasons to buy between now and December 31st. But first, let's go over the last 7 days and see what's going on in the market. Since Andrew's busy, I'll do this slide. So new listings for last week were 186. And for this week, they're up at 202. Pending for this week are 90, and that's up again over last week, which was 78. Price decreases are at 114 this week, and that's about the same as last week.
Sorry,
Andrew.
I know. I wasn't supposed to go up live.
Okay. Price increases are 2. Those are usually administrative errors, or people decide they want to change their mind. Back on market is 4. Solds are 81, and that's less than they were the week before at 95.
Cool.
And expireds are 53. So sometimes expired and withdrawn, which are 9, are people relisting.
And they bounce around. I mean, we find that those are, I mean, seeing the expireds go up more is indicative of, the market not meeting people's expectations, but or the property not meeting the market's expectations. But withdrawn can be for many reasons. Can we go back one slide, actually? Just want to talk about the slide before. I'll do it.
This one?
No, sorry. Oh, no, sorry. Never mind. It's the next slide. So
go ahead.
All right. So you've already talked this one through. So I'm going to talk about this one. I'll go through it and then I'll say what I was noticing here. So here we are on November 20th. And actually, yes. Why is it's the 23rd. Oh, yeah, these come out Mondays. Jane's just sitting there silently going, what is he doing? So as of Monday, the 20th, we had 230 net unconditional sales compared to 384 for the full month of November last year. 612 so far versus 785 for new listings. So we will probably exceed that by the end of this month, the 785 from last year. 2,744 active listings currently versus 22,111 last year. So definitely up in terms of inventory. What I found interesting from this slide.
Just confirming it's 2,111, not 22,000. But yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yes. That's a lot. Yeah, but what's interesting actually is when we look from November 14th to November 20th, these from the left to the right here on active listings, we've only got one additional active listing between this week and last week, which indicates that really for everything that's come on market, something's come off market. Doesn't quite add up here when I look at the new listings. You'd take the new listings, subtract the pending properties, and anything that's just come off market or expired. So expired and withdrawn, and add those together, and it should add up to that if we've really seen only one increase. But anyway, the point being is that we have been seeing increase in active listings week over week, month over month, but in the last week it's just been pretty steady. I found that one interesting.
So we were at 152 for November 14th, and we're at 230 for November 30th. So we're probably gonna reach what we reached last year at 384, but unlikely with just a week left.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And just so you know, everybody, there are, I don't know how many realtors, 14 to 1,700, realtors here in Victoria. So it's sparse in terms of how many sales people are having right now. And generally I'm seeing people are starting to take some time off. They're going away. And so there's less focus on selling and more focus maybe on recovering from the past 3 years.
This is a feast and famine business. Yeah. And when it's feast and people are really busy, they hopefully have saved money and can deal with when it's slower, but they also need to take a break from time to time.
Yeah. Do you want to show your word cloud right now?
Oh, sure. So yeah, that was the word cloud. So recommend, service, selling, but honest, friend, helpful, informed, advice, knowledge. It just kind of takes all the words that have been used in the various feedbacks, and I quite liked it.
Yeah, I love that it's in the shape of a home, and it's nice they spelled realtor correctly, for goodness sake.
I think I had to do some, like, I went through it and, because there was some difference in spellings. Let's say somebody spelled patience with EI instead of IE.
Right.
I would have corrected those just to make the word frequency work. Anyway, that was fun. It was just a fun exercise and it was informative. Let's go back to our slideshow though.
Okay.
Um,
Alrighty. So we're going to talk today about the top 5 reasons why people are why you're in a good position to write offers or go and look at real estate right now, and why potentially you actually may want to sell right now. Because a lot of people, I've had clients who have taken their houses off the market in November. I'm like, and the longer I've been in real estate, the longer I realize just keep it on, because you actually will have less competition, because most people will be thinking like you.
yeah.
Okay, so number 1, there is less competition. There are less buyers looking now. As I said, people are going away on holiday, and the inventory is tending to hold. As we saw, there's less chance of multiple offers. So what do you think about that?
I think that you can't catch a fish. If you have a desire to sell your home, then it should be on market. There is always a chance the buyer is there now. No, we've had our first spam comment, I think.
Yeah.
So I think as long as you want to sell, you should have your property on market. I've had many people say, well, I don't want to have it look like it's been on market a long time. If the best chance of selling is in the spring, we put it on market now, it'll look really old and tired by the time we get to February or March if it's still on market. The hope is it's not. But if it is, we take it off market, we relist it, we maybe give it a small break, a week or two. But overall, again, there are times, and we've seen this many times, Jane and I, where the unicorn buyer, that buyer for that property that was the perfect buyer for that, comes to the table, and they were only there at that particular time and place. They may not be there later because they'll have bought something else. But at that time, they were ready, willing, and able to pay, let's say, I don't know, above asking price, above market value, or just that was the perfect house for them, and they wouldn't have seen it unless you were dangling the carrot.
So just saying, going back to here, new listings are 186 now. This is way lower than previous listings that we've had, and a 202 for
And as
this
Jane
past
alluded,
week.
there's I think it's closer to 1,600 or plus agents right now on market, in this market, and each one working with multiple clients, or on average, there's a lot of people out there looking to connect their clients with properties. And if they're not finding the fit right now, like in the spring, sometimes you're drinking from the fountain here, and you don't always have time to see everything or react to everything in time. Whereas now, as a buyer's agent, you're going to have more selection, and buyers are going to be able to come and find your home. And those agents are going to be able to sort of find it for their clients and say, you know what, this one I think is a really good fit for you because of X, Y, and Z. Whereas again, drinking from the fountain hose in the spring doesn't really happen as easily.
Yeah. And so as a seller, it's a good time because there's less competition. As a buyer, it's a good time because there's less competition. So it means probably as a seller, you're not likely to have a multiple offer, but you will have a motivated buyer who, for the same reason, if you're selling, you're just meeting face to face at the right time. And that being said, I just listed a house. I'm getting lots of activity on it, and it's well priced. And so people who have been looking for a long time, they may feel less pressure right now because things are moving a little more slowly, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
they're more likely to actually take the step. Okay. Number 2, high price elasticity. So these are for homes that have been on the market for a long time. Generally, a lot of realtors think, okay, we're going to start the listing in the spring, and then it carries on. And, after 90 days, they may renew it or refresh it. And then again, bumping it up for the fall market. So that's been listed in September, October. So we're coming to the end of November, they haven't had an offer. That's why we're seeing the price reductions that we're seeing. And so the seller is like, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to sell it before the end of the year? And then because it's been on the market for a while, they may not have great expectations about their price. And so there's more or less elasticity over time.
This is where it's really important to have regular conversations with your agent, to talk about the price, to look at what the trends are doing. Because sometimes often it is about the price. Sometimes it's less about the price if it's a very unique property, or in a market where average days on market are very long, and it's a matter of waiting for the right buyer. And it is a fine line between the two things, because price will often be that motivating factor to bring more buyers to the table. You can overcome a lot of objections with price, but having your property on market during this time, yes, may encourage you to be a little bit more flexible in price if you're feeling a little bit less confident in it. At the same time, those sellers who are able to stick to their guns and hold through it can set the market in that sense as well. So, but from a buyer's perspective, there are always people who are feeling that tension, feeling that that subjective angst of like, why is my home not selling, and what's going on, and is the market going to be worse in future if I don't take what's come in front of me today? And those people will be willing to look at those offers that are off the asking price. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it makes sense for the next slide, actually, because they may want to get their house sold before the end of the year. And I don't know why the slides don't show up like the way I made them, but whatever.
And Jane does a great job of formatting and editing these beforehand. And thank you so much for doing that, Jane. And then for whatever reason, the formatting always gets messed up when it comes to publishing. So there you go. So yeah, there might be some pressure. It could be tax. It could be other reasons when there's a property on sale at this time of year. Again, it could be that they've taken the advice of their realtor and just gone ahead and put it on market because, as I said, you can't catch a fish if your hook's not in the water. But there could also be a specific reason for sale. It could be there's a divorce and there's they just want to get out of that house. They could be under financial pressures. There could be tax implications of not selling before end of year.
Well, the other thing is if they are moving to another country, there actually is pressure to really sell between now and the new year. And that's because the CRA will have a withholding tax. And what that withholding tax does is it withholds 25%, I think, or up, I can't remember, it might be up to 50% until you file your taxes. And so, especially if you're a non-resident currently, they're going to be wanting to hold that just to make sure that everything is in place. And so that you can't abscond with the money.
This is, that's a big one for foreign sellers. And of course, we got the foreign buyers ban now, but there's still a lot of foreign owners in this country and in this province and in the city. And if you're wanting to sell, the federal government does not want you to just sell and then take all the funds and run off to your other country. They want to make sure you are up to date. So they definitely hold back its 25% of the sale proceeds. And that can actually make it difficult if you've got a mortgage on your property too. So there's all kinds of nuances to that if you're going to talk about selling a foreign owned property.
Yeah. So we're, just to clarify, we mean non-resident. So they could be Canadians who have moved to another country, or it could be somebody who's non-Canadian who's selling an investment property. Yeah. Okay. Number 4, very quick closing. I find right now, like even since I got into real estate, people who are buying right now are closing in 2 or 3 weeks. And this is great for the seller because they have the cash before Christmas. They are able to start the new year optimistically. And especially if you have a vacant home, it's fabulous because all of a sudden you have that off your plate before Christmas. So very quick closing. This is, I've actually been in 2 multiple offers this week, and the quick closing is what sealed the deal both times.
If it's a vacant home, you're either paying interest on your mortgage, or you have opportunity costs that you're losing because you are not able to take that money. It's just sitting there on the home, even if you have no mortgage. There's also insurance considerations. You have to have someone checking on the property. There's maybe some limitations on what the coverages are if the home is vacant. So there's definitely some good reasons for having your home on market at this time of year if it's vacant rather than waiting, because it's going to cost you if you don't. And then for buyers, they can just close quickly, and that's always a wonderful thing. There's nothing
Yeah.
holding them back from moving right in. There's also the interest rate mark. A lot of people, buyers have their interest rate lock in at a certain point. And luckily, the Bank of Canada has held their rate. But when you're looking at a rate hike from your rate hold, from your rate hold expiring and having to get requalified at a higher rate, that puts a lot of pressure on people to do a quicker closing as well, or at least get a quick unconditional offer,
Yep.
unconditional quick.
Yep. And I find the quick close is generally not wanted, except for now. So
If you're living in your home, you may not want to be out the door in 2 weeks' time. You need time to pack and move and find a new home. But there's definitely, people don't necessarily want to be moving in the dead of winter either. And so there's kind of a push to either close, and we're a little bit past this, push to close, before end of November or into January. During the holiday season, there's less likelihood, but there are still reasons why this can happen.
yeah, exactly. Okay, and number 5, concessions and inclusions. So 2 or 3 offers that we've had now on properties this past week have been including the furniture because the seller doesn't want to move the furniture. And it takes a lot of pressure off of them to just have the home sold basically as is, where is, and the whatever is in there just stays and the buyer just takes care of it. You honestly, you're relieving the pressure. So
Yeah, you may have bought all that furniture and it fits the style of that home. I was looking at a home in Cadboro Bay area that had really amazing furniture, and it all fit the style and age and decor of that home. And it wouldn't necessarily fit the new owners. If the new owners had moved into a different style of home, a different era of home, it wouldn't fit. And so sometimes you can save the owners some challenge by just offering to take the furniture in, or the seller may actually be offering that as well. And we're also now, we've got the short-term rentals. We're seeing a lot more former short-term rental properties coming up for sale, and those would have been furnished, and the owners probably would just prefer to sell the place furnished.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about needs and wants. Well, first of all, can I share a listing that I have?
By all means.
Let me just see if I can get it up here. Here it is. So this is a listing I have on Tattersall. This is 1.149 million. It is a rancher on the main, and it has a lower level. So you can see it has this lower level here with a suite in it.
Nice mid-century style.
Yeah, so there's 2 driveways, upper driveway and lower driveway. This is a right of way over this lane here. It's on a 15,000 square foot lot, so it's a third of an acre. And there's potential for a garden suite here. It meets the criteria. Has terrace gardens, really nice. And yeah, just shows beautifully. It's got original cove ceilings. It's got this big country kitchen here.
From the 80s, yeah. Was that did I see an egg chair there?
What?
Did I see an egg chair, or was that just?
Yes, you did.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, there it
Yeah.
is. Okay.
Yeah, beautiful hardwood floors, wood fireplace. Yeah, 3 bedrooms up, and it's got a 1-bedroom suite down below. There's also a rec room. So if anybody's interested, we're getting a lot of activity. This is a suite here, and yeah, it shows very well. So
it's a pretty decent looking place. I see some nice updates, newer windows. Those flat roofs are. It's a fun, different kind of style of home, very mid-century modern.
yeah.
Down on the right-hand side, what is that? Because you've got the carport on the left here. Was that a garage or carport on the right at one point as well?
So there's 2 carports on this property.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me just find it for you.
Yeah, I see it there.
So
Yeah.
that's looking at the front of the house, and then the other was looking at the other side. So
Got it.
right there. See?
Yeah. Okay.
Lower, upper.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that. Okay. Lots of
You
parking, good looking place, and the price looks decent.
yeah. So if anybody's interested, that's a great home.
Okay.
I also have I do have people looking for properties like that, so I'm gonna have to refer them out. Um and yeah. What else do I have? I still have a clients looking for a house in Machosen with a suite. So
Right.
anybody, please. What about you?
Well, I've been out again a few times with my clients looking for home in Rockland or Fairfield. Um, really looking for, again, family home, something with a nice indoor outdoor connection. Nice kitchen, bedrooms, all bedrooms on one floor, preferably, plus space for an office. And, ideally not a busy road, again, for a family. Up to 2 million, could go above. And I don't think that's unreasonable. And the advice I've been giving so far is, wait and see, because there's been some that are close but not quite. And I think we can still find a lot closer to what they're looking for if we just continue to wait and see what happens. Um, that being said, I've also got buyers for investment property. I'd like to find something large lot, you know, 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. West Shore is fine, under probably 1.2.
1.2. Okay.
Yeah, it can be older. Um, and other than that, I've got a lot of buyers, as I've said many times, but there's a lot of people that kind of just in the background, just waiting to see, once we find the right home, they'll sell their home and so forth. But nobody really urgent. So um, this is the thing with this market right now. I'm not finding there's a lot of urgency amongst people to do anything. So there's just let's just watch and see what happens.
Yeah. And part of it is if anybody's in a fixed rate mortgage right now, they don't want to move because they have a great rate. And if they're in a variable rate, it's less of a worry, but still.
Yeah. What do you think of that saying? I'm hearing a lot of agents, and I'm seeing it a lot on social media on the various realtor sites where people are saying, "Date, marry the house, date the rate."
Yeah. So it's true. So if you're gonna wait for the rate to go down, you're gonna have probably a long wait. So you might as well buy the house right now and start paying yourself your mortgage rather than paying the bank. And the rate will come down, and so that's why they're saying is date the rate. So you're going to have a temporary rate until it does come down, but at least you're in the market. And as the rates come down, as we found last year when the rates kind of leveled out, we had more activity and we had multiple offers. So you're going to pay more anyway. So you might as
Yeah.
well
Might as
buy
well
now.
buy now, pay a higher interest rate, but a lower purchase price than later when the interest rates come down, but the purchase price goes up. And right now, you have more selection and more time to buy. Whereas, as Jane was saying, once we get the market shifting again, and it always does, all of that extra inventory and that extra choice is going to just evaporate and disappear, and people will go back to desperate buying to various degrees. It's all relative, but it won't be the same kind of choice that you have been getting at this moment in time.
Yeah. Plus, you know what? Always do what everybody else is not doing. You're going to end up way further ahead. That's what we've always bought in November because
Mhm.
nobody else does.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, I'm blinding myself with this
I
light.
know the sun is just getting brighter and brighter on you.
I'm trying not to be here with it. Anyway, okay. So, you guys, we love your input and feedback. Of course, if it's not spam, I've blocked 2 people today. We'd like to hear if you have anything that you want us to present, please let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube pages, and please comment constructively if you have something that you want to say. And don't forget to share it with your friends. There may be content here one of your friends may be interested in.
You know what?
Anything you want to add?
No, you said it all. And Jane, thanks. And let's cut this short before you get blinded.
Okay. Don't forget, we're also here every Thursday at 9:30. We'd love to hear from you. So please check in with us, and don't forget to like put it in your calendar so that we see you every week. Andrew, how do people get a hold of you?
You can reach me at 250-360-6106. info@andrewplank.com, email. andrewplank.com is the website, and I'm on Instagram at plankandrew.
Okay, I was thinking today about how that thing, I don't know, from 2006 has stuck with you. So that says a lot about you, buddy. All right, my name's Jane Johnston. I'm with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun. My number is 250-744-0775. You can reach me at briarhillgroup@gmail.com. My website is briarhillgroup.com. And you can see these videos and more at victoriarealestateshow.com or on Instagram at realtyteacher_remax_Victoria. Over and out, buddy.
All righty.
Have a great week. We'll see you next week for our last November show, and then we'll do the December statistics the following week, and then we'll be probably out till January.
We might be taking a break. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye-bye.